the freaking cookbook. What are you, stupid? He's clearly not natural.
All right, joking aside, why is it so popular to hate on Greg Doucette? That is what we're addressing in today's video. If you can't tell by my t-shirt and by the supplements behind me, I am an HTLT athlete. So today you're gonna be getting the unique perspective of why it is so popular in the fitness industry to hate on Greg Doucette from an HTLT athlete perspective. Let's go. Here's the deal. I've been part of HTLT for about 2 years, and over the course of time, I've watched so many Greg Doucette videos. I've watched the Natty or Not.
Just the more I looked into it, the more I was like,
I've watched the drama videos.
And watched every single video that Sam Sulek could ever put out.
I tend to stay away from the ones that are not really fitness related. I've watched podcasts that he's been on.
You guys are putting me down. I'm like, I'm this old, I'm 5'6" manlet, I'm not a model, and I'm doing what I'm doing. And I mean,
they're mad at that. They're mad at that.
Man, I sold a lot of.
It's funny because your voice is like, it's such an interesting, like, when you'd hear it, it'd be like, oh, it's another Greg video.
And I came across a video by a YouTuber named Big Craig, and the title literally is, "Why Does Everyone Hate Greg Doucette?" So I sat there and I watched the video. I watched Greg Doucette's response to the video. So today we're gonna be addressing the most popular reasons that people in the industry have given for why they hate Greg Doucette. Number 1, the high-pitched voice.
If you go back a few years and listen to his original videos of him talking in his apartment, you'll notice a stark contrast in the tone and the manner of his speaking.
One of the things people will mention is there's a fat-free mass index. Friend twins declaring war on Coach Greg. They've had enough.
But why did he change his voice?
Obviously, I tried to mimic it. It's almost like, it's like the parrot from Aladdin, like, Natty or Not, he's an idiot. But obviously, if you've watched other content or collaborations with Greg, you know that's not his regular voice, but he amplifies his voice to create more drama and suspense in his videos, because at the end of the day, he's a YouTuber. The name of the game is to try to consume as much attention as possible. So if he's there like super reserved with his hands folded and he's like, okay, so here are the reasons why I think this person is actually taking performance enhancing drugs, you would click off. Like, let's be honest. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know, like, I don't understand why people would take time to consume content that literally annoys them. I do not watch content that annoys me, so there would be no reason for me to then create content around the people that make the content I don't like, because I ain't watching you in the first place. Number 2, the selling of supplements.
As a large portion of the online fitness world has started to call Greg a sellout after he launched his supplement company HTLT and marketed heavily on his channel. The internet has taken up arms against Greg's company and the way he promotes his products, with claims he isn't being truthful about the efficacy of his supplements and claiming he's selling junk.
But everything is great, dude. Like, this is a great formula and definitely gets my stamp of approval.
Now here's the deal. I have been grinding as a personal trainer, as a fitness influencer for a long time, and as you can see, I have the supplements behind me. I am a sponsored Harder Than Last Time athlete, and the name of the game is to try to create a living for yourself. So what I think is really happening is they can't take the amount of content that Greg is posting, and in each and every one of his videos, he is showcasing his product. This is his company at the end of the day. Why wouldn't he be showcasing it? And it's up to you to buy it in the first place. Like, that's a very small part of the video. If anything, it's like the last 30 seconds of each of his videos. So, like, I don't get it. We live in the United States of America, most of us. He lives in Canada, but Like, we live in a free market economy, and the name of the game is to make a name for yourself, build a brand for yourself, to then market it to the public. So I don't understand the hate for him promoting his supplements. All right, so I think one of the biggest reasons that a lot of people hate on Greg Doucette is because of the enemies or the detractors or his ops. Greg is not reserved. He's not quiet. If he feels a way about a certain topic or subject, especially if he feels that what you're saying is in stark contrast to the truth, he is going to get at you. And if you don't like it, it's up to you to then refute whatever he's saying with cold hard facts. Okay, here's the other one, Turk Builder. This is probably one of the biggest issues that has happened or that has created controversy with Greg Doucette.
His video titled Steroid-like Effects, The Real Science of Testosterone. The comment section did not hold back their thoughts on Greg's flagship supplement, the Turk Builder Plus, with the top comment saying, scamming his young audience to buy a new Lambo. Greg uploaded this 16-minute video, which was essentially a giant advert for his own testosterone supplement, which was filled with multiple claims, such as it will give you steroid-like effects, which is questionable at best. This video only stoked the flames of his sellout name tag, with his comment section and Reddit forums calling him a snake oil merchant, and called him out for being driven by greed and money over spreading factual fitness information.
Now, I personally have not used it, so I cannot say that it works. But what I do know is that every time it's been released, it has sold out. I don't know, it's a free market economy. If you put a shit product out, I'm assuming that it wouldn't continuously sell out. So that's just my thing. Some people will say that Greg is just such an excellent salesman that just off of his word that he's selling it. But if I'm buying a product and I'm buying the product for a specific outcome, and if I buy it once and I don't derive that outcome, I'm not gonna buy it again. So another issue that was mentioned in this video by Big Craig is that in every other video, Greg is talking about his money and his wealth. That's not true. I watch almost every other Greg video. I don't watch every video, but I watch a good portion of them. Let's say I watch about 80% of Greg's videos, and he is not talking about his wealth in all of them. In most instances, when his wealth or cars or whatever he's obtained is mentioned, it's in response to something that has already been said. He's not just like talking about wealth for the sake of talking about his wealth. So let's be honest. Let's call a spade. So you lied on that one, Big Craig. All right, another big accusation about Greg is that he's changed.
Has changed for the worse as soon as he started getting a taste of money. How has he changed, you may wonder? Well, the biggest way Greg haters say he has changed is that he is a clout chaser, clickbait, and only goes after drama, steering away from the fitness-based content he used to produce.
That he changed from, I guess, when he first started. Let's go on Greg's channel. So they say that he changed from when he first started making content. So we're on Greg's channel. He's got 2.7 million followers and over 3.2K videos. So his oldest video is from 16 years ago. Let that sink in your head. This man has been making videos for longer than my son has been alive. My son is 13 years old. Greg has been making videos on YouTube since before then. Like if you don't have respect for that, like how many people start things and quit them after they don't find success after 6 months? So that's aside from the point. Obviously, if you go to his oldest videos, a lot of them are like how most of us start in the fitness industry. We're trying to show tips, we're showing our journey, and his channel has evolved over time. If you expect for someone, anyone in any field to stay exactly as they are, you're a hypocrite. The name of the game is to evolve. We should all be evolving. I'm not the person that I was 10 years ago. The fact that you would expect him to remain exactly the same is just baffling to me. The man grinded for like probably over a decade without finding the type of success he was looking for, and then finally caught fire, and he's capitalizing on that. And I don't see what the problem is with that. And if you do, you're probably just a hater that is not willing to put in the work to grind it out and figure out what the hell it is that you need to do in whatever you're doing to find the same type of success. So there you go with that. I'm sorry if I'm passionate right now, but I can empathize. Even though I have not found the success that Greg's found, I can empathize because I'm currently in that grind. And I'm promise you, I'm telling you that if 6 months from now, a month from now, I find the formula and it works, I'm going to abuse the shit out of that formula. All right, so now we're gonna talk about clickbait and titles. We're almost done here. Let's go to Greg's most popular videos. Like I mentioned earlier, if you go on Greg's channel and you take the video simply based off of the title and the thumbnail without watching the actual video, it could possibly offend you. But remember, this is YouTube, so the idea is to try to draw as much attention as possible. Why do you think content creators like Mr. Beast invest like so much time, energy, and money and effort to create the very best thumbnail to draw as much people in as possible? Greg's doing the same thing, just in a different way. But if you took 2 minutes, 3 minutes to watch the video, you'll see that it's not exactly what it is on the title. It's not exactly what it is on the thumbnail. In a lot of instances, what he's doing is quoting something that might have been said in another video and just putting it in the thumbnail and letting you derive where that comes from. But if you don't take time to watch the video, you're just gonna think he's talking shit and gossiping. So that's your problem. That's not his. So we've kind of gone through all of the negative, all of the reasons why people hate on Greg Doucette. But now let's flip the coin. Let's turn it on its head and give you the reason why Greg Doucette has over 2 million followers on YouTube in the first place. So you could get a real good understanding why people like me and other harder than last time supplement athletes are part of his brand. Aside from him having a master's, him having been a teacher, becoming an IFBB pro, like all that takes a lot of work. I just did one bodybuilding show. He's done over like 50 of them. I mean, that's like 40 something bodybuilding preps he had to go through. Like, if you don't have respect for someone that's willing to put themselves through that much torture, that much suffering to reach a goal, then I don't know who you are, man. Let's talk about the clients and the people that he actually sponsors on HTLT. Greg has sponsored people like Brentley G, someone who's suffering with like obesity. Greg has sponsored like regular average Joes. So it's not like he's like Gorilla Mode or like Young LA where you have to be like the cream of the crop or the best of the best. He's showing that you could be a regular person and you can inspire others and you can motivate others just through your daily action, your daily grind to get to where you're going. Because there's people just like you that are going through the same exact thing. And by showcasing and giving a platform to people like Brentley G and Kyle Will TV, who just signed with HTLT, who has a disability, by giving people like that a platform, he's showing that, look, if these people could do it and they have all these disadvantages, so can you. So I've talked enough thus far about how I feel about Coach Greg, but how do other people feel about Coach Greg? Let's find out. All right, so the first athlete we're gonna hear from is my boy Darren Alexander, who's actually Mr. Florida. He's another fellow HTLT athlete. Let's see what he has to say about Coach Greg.
So a lot of people hate Greg Doucette for whatever reason. Now, I'm one of his athletes, and I can tell you personally like from my standpoint at least, that I have spoken to Greg Doucette on FaceTime. And what you see on YouTube is what you get from, at least in person, because I have spoken to him, and how he is in videos is how he is on FaceTime. He is down to earth, he's straightforward, he's blunt, he's honest, and he only portrays a good message. I don't know why people hate, well, I do know why people hate him, and it's because people get their feelings hurt, and no one likes to hear the truth. So he tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. He preaches realistic goals, realistic expectations, and people misconstrue what he says and they just try to shit on him for it. And it's complete and utter bullshit. So I'm telling you from a personal standpoint, me, Greg Doucette's the man, the GOAT, if you will.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that was something I didn't even touch on. And that's actually something that Coach Greg says a lot. Telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you really remove yourself from that quote, especially if it applies to you, you can see why so many people would have an issue with him. Because if you fall within any demographic of whoever Greg is talking about, and you're not objectively viewing what he's saying, yeah, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. We're gonna go to another athlete, Kyle Wilmington. So he just signed with HTLT, and he's actually a disabled athlete, and he sent me this video. Let's see what he had to say.
I'm just gonna start by saying I love how raw and real Greg has always been. I've been watching Greg since the end of 2019. At that point, I was about 101 kilos, just beginning my fitness journey, and watching his content truly inspired and helped me a lot. Talking about how he trained from such a young age, he always had a passion for it, and was just always something exciting that he got to do. When it comes to him making content, his content has always been the same. He's always been enthusiastic, yelling, always trying to get his message across. And when he's making videos about other people, he leaves no stone unturned. He literally just breaks down the information he gets given and puts it out there. I think anyone who makes content at the level that Greg does, the volume, he's always produced a lot of videos and making them about other people, he's likely going to get a lot of hate, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's not trying to hurt people. He's just out there expressing his personal opinion on information that he has been given, which is freely out there on the internet. My personal opinion, I think Greg is great. I think he's a fantastic guy and a fantastic businessman. Watching him scale over the last 5 years has been incredible and inspiring.
Well, there you have it. So it definitely seems like the people that do resonate with Greg's message are not easily offended. So I guess if you do stumble upon Greg's videos and you're easily offended and you're lazy and not willing to do the work to actually watch the video and take it at face value for exactly what he's saying and not what the title and thumbnail is showing, then his content is not for you, and maybe you should just stay in your room. I don't know. My final closing statement is this, that when it comes to Greg Doucette, there are instances in which I agree with him. There are instances in which I don't agree with him. There are instances in which he does things that I necessarily probably wouldn't do as like a 40-year-old man, but it's his life. It's his life to do what he does. I think the benefits definitely outweigh any potential harm that he could have possibly done by like doing somewhat what some would say clickbaity titles. He's inspired people, he's motivated people, he's given people that would normally in the fitness industry wouldn't have a platform, and I think the brand and the way he's putting out content is a voice for not only the fitness industry, for the average Joe.
Hit them. They're too good and you suck something off. Yes, sir, I sure do.
So the everyday person who has maybe just started their fitness journey or is curious about fitness, and I think his approach emboldens people and can motivate the average Joe to get out of their shell and hit the gym and get after it based on real facts and not about catering to your feelings. So if you guys want to know more about Greg Doucette, subscribe to his YouTube channel, follow him on Instagram, and if you want any of these amazing harder than last time supplements, make sure, whoa, it's falling. We got creatine monohydrate, we got protein, we've got pre-pump if you want the non-stim, we've got hardcore stim 2.0. Make sure when you go on to htltsubs.com that you use code JesusV and that will give you 15% off. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, fuck your insecurities. Peace. Buy the freaking cookbook. Wait, no, let's do it again.